it's Destiny, and today we're going to be talking about the second new character reveal for version 4.0 of Honkai Star Rail, and I would love to know if you're personally excited for the Elation Path, as that will be the newest path coming in version 4.0. And also, if you'd like to see more Star Rail content from me, consider subscribing to the channel, leave a like to support today's video, and real quick before we get into today's video, I wanted to show you all a way to get cheaper Oneric shards, and I also wanted to say a huge thanks to Aniba for sponsoring today's video. Aniba is a website where you can purchase Oneric shards at a discount, and all you have to do is provide your Star Rail UID, select the pack that you would like to purchase, and bam, within a few minutes, you'll receive the Oneric shards within your account, and now you'll be able to pull for your favorite characters at a discount. You can also use Aniba for other games as well, such as Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, and so on. Aniba also has 10% cash back for your purchases. All you have to do is, after your purchase, go to your orders, claim your cash back, and now you can use your cash back on anything on Aniba's website. And if you would like, you can even get more Oneric shards by doing this. For those interested, you can check out Aniba using my link in the description, and now let's carry on with today's video. Here we are with the newest character reveal, and it is none other than a new variant of Sparkle. She does have a different name here, which I'm not too sure how to say this. If I had to take a guess, maybe it would be Sparxie, but I'm not too sure. But as we can see, we're getting a new Sparkle. Her hair is fully white. Her main color scheme seems to consist of red and white, which I think is pretty cool. There's also black mixed in there as well. And I feel like she just looks so freaking cool. She gives me a live streamer vibe, especially if we take a look at her phone and then we just look at the splash art overall. It kind of looks like she's coming out of the device, and then also we have like the little thumbs up as well coming from the device too. So this kind of gives me like a live streamer sort of vibe, so maybe that's what the new Sparkle here is going to be all about. But overall, I just personally love this design. I think she looks amazing, very, very cute, and I'd love to know more if she is a live streamer like I am personally thinking. When it comes to her element and path though, she is going to be another Elation character. So yesterday we got the reveal for Guang, who is also an Elation character, and now we have the new Sparkle, who will be another Elation character coming in version 4.0. So we're gonna have two back-to-back Elation 5-star, and as for the new Sparkle here, her element is going to be fire. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. We're gonna have a Fire Elation character, while Guang appears to be a physical Elation character. I do think it's pretty cool how they're also changing the icon's color when it comes to the element. So I think a couple of people were confused yesterday as to what the element actually was, due to the little icon being a different color than normal. But I'm just basing this off of what the actual symbol is in the box, which would show here that the new Sparkle is a Fire Elation character. Now, when it comes to my personal predictions about what she will do, I personally think that the new Sparkle will be a Fire Elation damage dealer. The reason I say this is because of one of the planar sets we got a while ago, being the Tengoku at Livestream planar set. And if we take a close look at this planar set and we look specifically at the sphere, this looks pretty familiar as to who this might be. I personally think this is literally the new Sparkle right here, or just Sparkle in general. So I wouldn't be too surprised if the new Sparkle here uses this planar set. Maybe there'll be a new planar set, who knows? But in her case, I'm personally thinking that she might end up using this planar set, just because of the fact of it does appear that she is on this planar set when it comes to the sphere. And as for what this planar set does, it'll increase the wearer's crit damage, and if 3 or more skill points are consumed in the same turn, you'll additionally increase the wearer's crit damage by 32%, lasting for 3 turns. So we're going to be able to get a lot of crit damage from this set right here, and if she does end up using this set right here, this would mean that she would more than likely consume a lot of skill points during her turn, and as a result, she'd get more crit damage from this set. But then in that case, she would likely want team members that can assist with how many skill points she is using if they decide to go that route with this character. Which could mean that maybe this Sparkle right here would work with the old Sparkle. I feel like that would be really cool if they ended up doing that. Like, imagine we have just 2 Sparkles working together and just beating up enemies. I would personally love if the old Sparkle did work with the new Sparkle, just because I think that would just be super cool. But that's just my personal prediction based on the planar set. Also, her being Fire Elation, I do think that she'll maybe go the DPS route. And if she does, then once again, that planar set, if it does end up working on her, this will likely result in her using a lot of skill points during her turn to maximize this planar set. Now, of course, she could end up completely doing something else. That's just my personal prediction. But what it does make me wonder is what they'll do with the Elation Path as a whole. If it's going to be more like Remembrance, where each character is unique in what they are able to provide for the team. So in the case of Remembrance characters, we have Aglaya, she's a DPS. We have Hyacinth, who is a sustain, who is able to deal damage onto enemies. We have a character like Remembrance Trailblazer who focuses more on supporting an ally on the team. We have a character like Castress, who's also a damage dealer, and so on. So I wonder if Elation is also going to go this route where each character is unique when it comes to what they're able to provide. But if that ends up being the case, and just for the Elation Path as a whole, I do hope that in 4.0, we do have ways to get pretty accessible Elation light cones, since when we started getting Remembrance characters, the light cone department was definitely something that a lot of players could end up struggling with if they just didn't have too many options. So when it comes to the light cone situation, I do hope that in 4.0, we will get some nice light cone options for these characters, an event Elation light cone that players can get for these new characters that work very nicely on them. So that's just my personal hope, but I'd love to know what you personally think of the Elation Path. If you think that each character will be able to provide something unique. For example, if you think that Guang, who was revealed yesterday, if she might maybe end up being more of a supportive character rather than a damage dealer. And in the case of the new Sparxie here, what you think she might be able to do as well. They could end up going the route of Elation primarily being damage dealers, but then in 4.0 we would just have 2 new damage dealers. So that could potentially be an option. But I'm really curious just to see what they do with this path, which we'll be able to know more once we get closer to 4.0 as a whole and then the live stream. Once the live stream comes, then of course I'll discuss these characters as I usually do. But yeah, I'd love to know all of your thoughts if you're excited for 4.0. Personally, I am definitely excited for 4.0. I think the 2 characters coming in version 4.0, Guang and then also the new Sparxie, look really cool. And I will personally be pulling for them just because of how cool they look. But yeah, that'll be it for today. Once again, just let me know all of your thoughts. And I hope that all of you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, do make sure to subscribe. Leave a like to support today's video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.